morning, everyone. What we'd like to discuss this morning is the excellent work that's been done by the officers of the Harrisburg Police throughout 2018 regarding gun seizures. But before I begin, I'd like to introduce everyone. To my right, of course, you know Commissioner Carter. We have Officer Darrell Foose, Officer Chad McGowan, and Sergeant Ty Mike. To my left, you have Deputy Chief Moody. You have Task Force Officer Darren Bates, Detective Richard Gibney, and Task Force Officer Michael Rudy. In 2016, the Commissioner gave our department a mission. That mission was to take as many illegal guns off the street. He understood that every single illegal gun that we took off the street was one less victim in the city. That reduction in those illegal guns would reduce the violence tremendously. In the last 3 years, our department has taken 646 guns off the street. We can't say that each one of these guns would have been used in a shooting, a robbery, or even homicide. But our department has taken 646 opportunities to injure citizens of the city with some kind of violence. What you see before you is just a sampling of the firearms that was taken in 2018. This is less than a third of the firearms. In 2018, we took 198 guns off the street total. 181 handguns, 11 rifles, and 6 shotguns. In 2017, we took 252 guns off the street. That was 233 handguns, 10 rifles, and 9 shotguns. In 2016, we took 196 guns off the street, 174 handguns, 3 rifles, and 19 shotguns. If you take a look at some of these handguns and rifles, they are high capacity, meaning that they can carry a lot more rounds. They have extended magazines. We have one firearm there that has a drum that can hold anywhere about 50 rounds. We have extended magazines on handguns. And all of these guns were seized without our officers, or mostly without our officers, engaging those individuals with gunfire. As you know, we've had several incidents where officers were needed to use their firearms. But when you start looking at all of these handguns, our officers have shown great restraint. And I think we, as an agency, have been able to fulfill the mission of our commissioner. So, Commissioner.
Thank you, Captain. Good morning to everyone. This was a mission that I talked to my deputy chief about and my captain, and it was a mission that we all understood that we were going to put our officers in direct danger. If you can recall, a couple years ago, we had the Baltimore incident, we had the Ferguson incident. You know, we had numerous incidents, you know, where police officers were engaging youth, and a lot of times, unfortunately, you know, it resulted in gunfire and someone, you know, getting shot and sometimes killed. Sometimes it was officers and sometimes it was civilians. It was something that we wanted to do because we were having a lot of rampant gunfire throughout the city. You know, just our youth and other people just running around here, you know, just shooting guns into cars, shooting bullets into cars, you know, just letting off rounds. And it was something that we had to try to stop. And I talked to my command staff and I said that I would not engage in doing a buyback program, because usually when you did a buyback program, you're getting a lot of elderly people who hand their guns in because they need cash for food or for heating oil or what have you. And the people that we want to get the guns from, they never bring their guns in. So one of the first things I did, I talked to Sergeant Ty Mike, and I said, Sergeant, I need for the street crime unit guys to engage people on the streets, and I need for them to get as many illegal guns off the street as they possibly can. I knew that this was a dangerous mission. but it was something that we had to do because the safety of our residents here mean more to me than anything else. I have respect for all my officers. I believe that I have the best officers in the whole area. And that's not taking anything away from any other agency, but I work with these here young men and young women day in and like day out, and I know their capabilities, I know their compassion to do their jobs, and I know how they want to do their jobs right, and how everybody wants to go home. So it was something that the whole agency brought into. So this is a result of our efforts out there. I believe my captains do 640 plus handguns, and we come across situations where people were actually engaged in like shootouts. But we were able to retrieve guns from these people without getting into a shootout with them. I want to thank my deputy chief, my captain. I want to thank my federal operatives. I want to thank my street crimes unit and every officer who was employed by the city of Harrisburg, because they all did a fantastic job. I talked to the mayor about it, and he said, "Are you sure that that's what you want to do, because you're going to endanger your officers?" I said, "I want to do it." And to show them that I wasn't just a commissioner or a police chief that just talks and don't walk the walk, I went out there and I got an AK-47 off the street with a 100-round drum and a couple magazines in a bulletproof vest. I also got a handgun off the streets. Harrisburg is changing, Harrisburg is moving, there's a lot of good things going on here, and the people of Harrisburg deserve better than to worry about getting their property shot up. My officers deserve better than to worry about, getting hit by random gunfire. As you can recall, just recently, a couple months ago, we were out on the hill when a 15-year-old kid got shot, and just a block over, so a car was driving down the street shooting. My officers were put into the line of fire. It was a bad situation, but they were able to apprehend people without returning fire. So we're going to continue this campaign. We're going to continue to get guns off the street. There's a teaching lesson in this area for everybody. We're not going to have it here. We are just not going to have it. Now, I can't tell you, that us taking this many guns off the street has reduced the homicide number, but I can tell you that it has reduced the amount of violent crime that we were once faced with in the city. Thank you.
Currently, the commissioner had just indicated the trend in crime. Currently, we're trending about close to 10% reduction in violent crime. We hope to have those numbers out available to you probably in March. The officers that you see to my right, these are all members of the street crime unit. They go out every evening. These officers actually engage a lot of the violent individuals and get a lot of these guns off. The individuals to my right are task force officers. They're Harrisburg Police officers. Officer Bates is a task force officer for the DEA. ATF, sorry. Detective Gibney is with the FBI. And Officer Rudy is with the U.S. Marshals. So as you see, we've partnered with a lot of different agencies, and we utilize a lot of different strategies to get these weapons off the street, and more importantly, get the individuals who had these firearms into custody and into prison.